activism need to be about keeping these commandments.
This is not what I expected out of them. The true Bible, the book about following.
Right. The Most High has given us guidance on what we need to do.
It's Officer Eli.
It's also not showing.
Officer Ezekiel.
Jewish civilization.
Okay, the picture history of Jewish civilization. All right, so let's go inside the book. Picture history of Jewish civilization, Chartwell Books Incorporated. Next page. Okay, let's read that right there. Drop down at the bottom.
The secrets of,
yeah.
Where you at?
Yeah, right there, Lord of the Universe. This is on page, what page is this? Move it up, sir. What page is this in the book? This is page 94, I remember. It's page 94 in the same book. Let's start reading.
Yes, sir. Lord of the Universe.
So this is the book that the white man passes backwards and forwards to themselves. Like I said, they know about these records. Hollywood knows these records. These directors know these records. All of these people in these high places, they know these records. The problem is that a so-called Negro can't find out about it. Imagine if Kyrie Irving or Magic Johnson or any of these guys put this book on their Instagram. Just imagine that.
Just put it as a profile.
Just put it as a profile picture. Just put it as a profile picture, and it's a
Shut it down.
Shut it down. Kill him.
Deactivate his account.
Deactivate. Not only that, kill him. Go ahead.
Lord of the Universe, is it not enough for your sons what the evil kingdom of Edom, Rome, did to them, that you must also send the kingdom of...
Hold on. The evil kingdom... The what? The evil kingdom of Edom, Rome. Huh. The evil kingdom of Edom, Rome. That's what we just read. Look at that again.
Your Lord of the Universe, is it not enough for your sons what the evil kingdom of Edom, Rome, did?
So what is the scholars of these books saying? He's saying that in case you don't understand who Edom is, it is Rome. Edom is Rome. Go ahead.
Did to them, that you must also send the kingdom of Ishmael against us. The Holy One, blessed be he.
They said that that you must send the...
You must also send the kingdom of Ishmael against us.
Drop down. And there shall be a great hatred. Right there at the bottom. And there will be a great hatred.
And there will be a great hatred between them and the children of Esau, Rome.
The children of Esau, in case you don't understand who the children of Esau is, it's Rome. That's what they're telling you in this book. You see that? That's some heavy stuff right there. And they wrote this. And they don't have no problem with Chartwell Books.
And they don't want this coming out because then they'll read in the Bible, Esau have I hated,
yes.
Jacob have I loved, and if they right here they're saying Esau is Rome, it would be obvious who God hates. That's why they don't want that thing out.
Right. But they know this is them. So the whole point is about suppressing the truth. That's the whole point. That's the reason why
they know who they are. They don't want us to know who we are.
That's the point. Right. That's the point right there. So I'm about to turn it up a little bit. Turn it up a little bit. This truth that we know is rumbling inside the souls of many of our people, okay? In the time of 70 A.D., the Israelites were overthrown by the Roman armies, and they came into Jerusalem in 70 A.D. And, when we read that in the book of St. Luke, chapter 21, you ain't got to get it, chapter 21, verse 20 to 24, Christ was telling us that if we did not get out of Jerusalem, we will be destroyed by the Romans. When you see the armies surrounding Jerusalem, know that the destruction that Moses prophesied in Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, was near. And so we have to get out of there. Many of us took heed to that and left. There were others that did not want to leave because we had lands, we had things that we did not want to leave, which is basically like Lot's wife. That when the order was get the hell out of here. We did not want to leave. So when the Romans came in, they did not play games. They chopped our babies. They chopped our people up with the swords, killed us, and destroyed our people utterly. And after that, Jerusalem was rid of Israel. And then what ended up happening? The so-called white man, manufactured as the Jews, were placed in there. Give me verse 24. So that whole business deal in 1948, that's what that was about, was to put people in there to be called Jews. And if you bring this truth out, they call that hate speech when it's actually true. This is what I'm talking about. They don't want the truth. They want to take the truth and make you think that it's lies and say that it's about hate speech because liars are being hurt by the truth. So they're saying, listen, we are to protect the liars. And if you're bringing truth and hurting the liars' feelings, you're anti-Semitic.
Yep.
That's the foolishness that we're under. You got it?
Yes, sir.
Read.
Luke chapter 21 and verse 24. And they shall fall by the edge of the sword.
The Israelites that did not leave Jerusalem, that they shall fall by the edge of the sword. So you had many groups that did leave. Okay, like when Rudolph R. Windsor's book, he said that over 1 million Jews fled into Africa, and it said that they were black. Okay, in his book. Okay, and he had to put a redundant statement to say that they were black because everybody knew that the Jews were black.
Right.
Everybody knew that back then. But now all of a sudden it's a big question. So he had to make that point in his book to say that the slave markets were full of black Jewish slaves.
Right.
In Rudolph R. Windsor's book. Okay. So read.
And they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations. And Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles.
And Jerusalem shall be walked upon by these people that you call Jews, because the real Jews are not there. Go ahead. So you also had the quote unquote Palestinians. Those people ain't belong there either.
Right.
All of the whole land is occupied by the nations, but this is mainly talking about Esau right here. Watch this. Read.
Until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled.
When their time is up, that's the time that we're living in right now. The time is for this truth to come out and he's revealed. That's the time that he's going to be blown. Esau is going to be blasted the hell out of there.
Right.
By those nuclear bombs that God already caused the scientists to build. Most High is beautiful. He caused them to create the weapon of his indignation to destroy the whole land. That's what he's going to do to this country, and he's going to do that to Israel. Because those are the two countries that Esau said that these two nations are mine. Okay? So that's going to happen until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled. Let's go to my books now. Because I made a point about Israel being taken out of Rome. Been taken out of Jerusalem and brought into Rome. Okay? Now, so the name of this book is called
Imperial
Rome by Time Life Books. Look at the cover, as you can see that. Now, let's open up the book. Imperial Rome by Moses Haddaz, so-called Jew. Here we go again, a so-called Jew. The great ages, zoom in on that so they can see the top part. The great ages of man. Do you realize that Time Life Books is the greatest book company on the planet, pretty much. Mm-hmm. Okay, and they got these records. We're going to find out what they've been hiding in their secret treasures. Okay, because the Negro won't know nothing about books like this here.
Right.
Okay, Imperial Rome by Moses Haddaz. Let's go inside the book. Let's see what we got. Let's zoom in on that. Look at what you see. So, like I was saying earlier, when the Israelites were taken out, the ones that fled down into Africa, the majority of those ended up on the West Coast, and later in the 1600s was rounded up and sold into captivity. So we know about that group. But then there was another group that did not leave, and the group that did not leave, they were captured by Rome. The ones that they didn't kill, that didn't fall by the edge of the Roman sword. Right. Many of them was captured and brought into Rome as slaves, and that's where this comes in at. Okay, so as they were brought into Rome and made slaves in the arenas, that's what, when you watch that movie Gladiators, that's the reason why they had a black man playing one of the main parts in there, because again, Hollywood knows the truth. They know that the gladiators were black people. They know that. Okay, they threw Russell Crowe in there, but they knew that the gladiators were black. Nobody even thought about that. Where the hell these black people come from? Because all the people in the movie are supposed to be black.
Matter of fact, he was already a slave when they got Russell Crowe.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. Damn. There you go. So now let's zoom in on the words here. Bizarre games of the gladiators.
Bizarre games of the gladiators. Hail Emperor, those who are about to die.
Yeah.
Salute you. Mm-hmm. With the solemn address, the gladiators scheduled to fight filed past the imperial box.
Yeah, the gladiators scheduled to fight. They filed past the emperor's box. Go ahead.
most of them were prisoners of war, slaves or criminals.
Yes, most of them were prisoners of war because they went out to get us. Okay. Now there's some time that's sparingly in this here. You had the children of those that were brought out of Jerusalem in 70 A.D. The descendants of them, they were also victims of the or being conquered as war captives.
Right.
So they brought them into what we're reading here. It says most of them were prisoners of war,
slaves or criminals.
Go ahead.
Sent through stern training schools.
Go ahead.
The night before.
So they sent them to train, just like they deal with our athletes today. Just like they deal with our athletes today. They put them through these training schools and all of that so that they can be in the greatest in the sports and all of that. Yep. Teach them how to box. Teach them how to play basketball. Teach them all of that to make them an energetic athlete.
The best entertainer you can be.
Exactly.
Right.
Go ahead. Go ahead. What you had something?
I was gonna say, now they hold those camps. They have from the youth up. They'll have basketball camps and football camps and all these different type of camps for them to indoctrinate them early on to say, hey, everybody out of 1 million kids wants to play football. Yep. So they're focused on that. But then when it comes to the Bible, they don't know anything about it. Go ahead, Bishop.
Exactly. So let's read on.
The night before, they had been feted at a lavish banquet where fans came to eye favorites.
They came to eye their favorites. They came to look at Kyrie Irving. They came to look at Magic Johnson. I'm bringing it up today. Herschel Walker. I'm naming some of these old guys, right? Some of these old football. I'm not into sports, brother. Y'all already know that about me. I started naming the old people when I was young.
Yeah.
Darryl Dawkins was a basketball player. Jock the J, all those guys. Tony Dorsett, all them old football players. Go ahead.
Where fans came to eye favorites.
And that's how they do. They got jerseys, they like, oh, we can see so and so there. So they those guys are like gods. Mm-hmm. That's what was happening. Go ahead.
A lot of them arenas are being sold out because of these men.
Exactly.
Kyrie Irving, Michael Jordan. These arenas are being sold out because of these men, and that's why their influence is so high. That's why they cannot have that.
Exactly.
Just think about all the money they make off of merchandise. Mm-hmm. The stuff outside of them even playing the sport. That name on the back. We used to grow up, we would buy the jerseys, we would buy the sneakers. Yeah. Right. So
pay big money.
That person, that name in itself makes them billions of dollars. Yep. And they'll have let's say you got a basketball team of 15 people, 12 people. That each of them brings in $1 billion through merchandise and stuff like that.
Damn.
So long as you keep that up, you all right, nigga.
You all right. That's what we paid for. We bought your name too. That's what they're saying. We bought your name. Your name belongs to us.
Yeah.
They said they'll trademark your damn name. So you cannot be out here teaching truth. They got that written in their contracts. Go ahead.
Where fans came
And the worst part about it, even though it's written in the contracts, the brothers are still a man. They're still men. Right. And they still have feelings. Mm-hmm. And they still want to do some research on their own selves to find out about their own selves. And might want to post something about it. They said, but wait a minute, you can't do that because that's not what we're paying you for.
Right.
And also, Bishop, for example, even what's his name? Kanye said in an interview, he said that some people in their contract, they can't even say Jesus. So he was like, people come into my studio just so they can say Jesus. So if they can't say Jesus, how they going to be able to, maybe if they wanted to rap about it, they can't even say it.
Damn. That's heavy. Read on.
Yes, sir. The night before, they had been feted at a lavish banquet where fans came to eye favorites and gamblers.
They came to look at their favorites. They said, yeah, that's my man right there. He going to hit these. He going to do this. He going to get so many yards. He going to get that many points. That's a big thing. Go ahead.
And gamblers to estimate odds.
To estimate odds. The gamblers.
That's Vegas.
I bet you. Huh?
Vegas.
That's Vegas. The gamblers estimate odds. This one right here, man, he ripped the lion's head last week. That's what I'm talking about. Wow. He's going to do this. He's going to beat that gorilla. He's going to do this. That's them betting odds on us. Go ahead.
Now, in the stands, peddlers hawked cold drinks, buns, and sausages.
So they're selling food and all of that, just like what's going on in the arenas today. Same thing today. Go ahead.
The more unusual the contest, the better the Romans liked it.
The better the Romans liked it. So the people that's in the arenas on the parts down there were not the Romans. They were being entertained. These would basically be your owners today.
Wow.
What's his name, Sterling and all that would be those guys. Watching these athletes do all kind of stuff. That's basically what we're looking at. This is where it all comes from. America is Rome all over again. Read.
Gladiators often fought with mismatched weapons.
Gladiators often fought with mismatched weapons because that makes the sport more interesting. Go ahead.
Negroes, a rare sight in Rome, were matched with each other.
So who were these Negroes? Gladiators. It's telling you straight up. Gladiators often fought with mismatched weapons. Then it goes and it says, Negroes, a rare sight in Rome. Now, wait a minute now. You know I got to deal with that. But they're talking about black people. It says Negroes, the black man. It says that gladiators often fought with mismatched weapons. Then it goes right into it and said Negroes were. Let me skip the part that it says a rare sight in Rome because that was put in there to throw you off. That was put in there to throw you off because up until this point, you was thinking that the gladiators were white people. But when you look at the records, come out of this for a second. Come out of this. We're coming back to this here. Come back to that first page that I showed you. The big page. That one there. Click. They say now, look at the guy on the end there. They say a rare sight in Rome. That's a gladiator. Okay? So they're not, when they say a rare sight in Rome, there wasn't nothing rare about that at all. The gladiators were black. The gladiators was the Israelites that was brought into the arenas. That's what you're looking at. Now let's go back to the words. That ain't rare at all. There's plenty of them. Read that again. Gladiators.
Gladiators often fought with mismatched weapons.
Go ahead.
Negroes, a rare sight in Rome.
So basically it should say Negroes were matched to fight with each other.
Right.
Leave that part, a rare sight in Rome. That was put in there to throw you off. That's basically the same kind of racist writing that says Christ, whose darkened flesh tones now give him an almost Negroid cast.
Yeah.
You saw that he was black. You saw black gladiators all on the walls and all of that. But you're looking at it and you said, these are black people. But then you're going to read that and say, a rare sight in Rome. Oh, it wasn't many of them. And you would say that the gladiators are white people. That's how Russell Crowe was able to get away with being the star of the Gladiator when they were all supposed to be black because of this kind of stuff here. The popular persuasion caused you to not think. Yep. Okay? So, read on.
Negroes were matched with each other.
Yes, but exactly. Go ahead.
A dwarf might be pitted against a woman. A superb fighter became a popular idol.
Became a what?
Popular idol.
Became a popular idol. Go ahead.
And might even win his freedom.
That's when they were putting them over the legions, putting them as commanders over their armies, because they liked the way they fought, and they end up training their armies. And the next damn thing, they got in control of the army and overthrew the whole deal. Now let's prove that the gladiators were not just some rare sight in Rome. Give me my next picture. You see that tournament of beasts, right? That part there. Now let's read. Now give me the next picture. Give me the next, because I zoomed in on that. No, I didn't. Okay, go back. Let's see. In amphitheater, let me read it. In amphitheaters like the one above, Romans could see, according to Philly the younger, that the love of glory and the desire to win inhabited the bodies of even slaves and criminals. The crowd delighted to see odd spectacles, domesticated panthers pulling chariots and horses and harnesses, or elephants kneeling before the emperor's box. Let me jump down. So they're talking about how they enjoyed it. An army of archers meet a pack of panthers, or a gladiator might be forced to fight for his life against a lion. That's the part that I needed, okay? A triumphant lion brought to a pitch of madness by starvation, because they enjoy doing this. They would set these kinds of things up. Brought to a pitch of madness by starvation, prepares to devour a fallen what?
Gladiator.
Go ahead.
In such matches, a fighter usually was equipped with short sword, shield, and arm guard.
So he didn't really have anything to fight. So they would have a lion that was starved just to put a brother out there with a little.
So you have to be close. You got to get close to him.
You got to get close to him. So they would do that because it was fun to them.
The shield was probably weak and cracked.
And all of that. So now let's show the picture. Let's see what we're talking about. Look at that. That's the fallen gladiator that had fell to the lion that was brought to the pitch of madness and starvation. Notice that the nose of the face of the gladiator is removed. Do y'all see that? Zoom in on that. And you have to ask the question, why is that the nose was knocked off? Look at the lion's nose. Go up. The lion got the full face. But why is it that the gladiator, why is his nose is knocked off?
Damn.
So you can't say it just happened.
Right.
They were so angry with the damn nose, they knocked off part of the foot to get rid of the damn lion. But the rest of the lion is fine, perfect.
And I was gonna say the lion is much bigger than the other one.
Yes.
So if they was just trying to have fun, maybe they hit the lion. No, they was purposely.
They purposely knocked the nose off, and I got records to show that they got a lot. I should have bought them books in. A lot of the statues over there, all throughout Europe, was with the noses knocked off. So this is to obliterate the ethnicity of the gladiator. Wow. That's a so-called Negro, just like you read in that book. This is something else. This is crazy. And the hair, like a brother wrote. The hair, that's that woolly hair. That's the reason why his hair is like that. Exactly. The brother wrote that in the comment there. So this is showing you that they know the truth. So here's the question. When, like I said, once the brothers won their freedom and they got inside the armies and they overthrew the Roman Empire. In 193 A.D., Rome fell to black Jews. The Israelites, the same Israelites, the children of those that were brought out of Jerusalem in 70 A.D. So now we're ruling in Rome. Rome was ruled from 193 A.D. all the way up to 1453 with the battle at Constantinople. Okay, so that whole time period was called the Dark Ages.